Ugh, I hate allergies, sneezing, like just not feeling right, runny nose. Speaking of running, we're talking about Lancelot today. Can't even say he's the original Cuck Knight because he's not. That's actually Dermod. That comes from that area, like the Legend of King Arthur and like Lancelot, like their specific dynamic, very directly mirrors Theon and Dermod. Like, only difference is that Artoria and Fate, Artoria forgives Lancelot immediately. Theon kind of doesn't, but doesn't say he forgives him, but like doesn't actually forgive him. That's how Dermod died. Anyway, let's talk about gameplay, not the lore. The lore, sorry. So, 9.9k, 9.9k attack, basically rounded to 10k. Basically the same HP as the last few servants we looked at, Gwaine, Tristan. They're actually like all pretty similar in like base stats. Like like all of them are above average for attack, and they all have around the same HP. Star weight, star gen, normal saber numbers. I think these are actually exactly the base saber numbers. Yeah. Lancelot has the exact numbers for saber servants. Which makes sense. I mean, he is supposed to be the shining example of like the best knight, the strongest knight. He is supposed to be that's him in lore. The perfect knight. Sorry, there we go. Perfect knight. MP charge 0.83. This is a lot more than you'd think. Like Lancelot's gains, like yes, see, there's the same hit counts on the art cards as Artoria, but like the rest of his deck is good. His gains are ridiculously good. Like if you get an arts crit, you're going like 0 to 50 at least, and it's not hard for him to crit. That's the thing with Lancelot. He's an art servant that is actually like meant to be an arts crit servant, not just MP spamming, although he does spam his MP like crazy. But yeah, good upstairs. Extra attack looks good. It's not going to be amazing, but it's going to be good. Quick card is whatever. You'll get most of your stars out from other sources, but Mighty Chains, you do want to at least try to put the card in. Like if you're going for Mighty Chains. First skill is a static 30% battery and 20 stars. That's it. On a 6-turn cooldown. I honestly think this is fine. Like he's an art servant. Like he's more specifically a single target art servant. Him having a battery isn't as much of a concern as say a buster servant or a quick servant. He does have this. He is permanent, so serving coins aren't as big of an issue. And this just works. It really does just work. 20 stars is also a good number. Because if you thought Eternal Ars Mastery is cracked on a Berserker, wait until you see it on a Saber. Wait until you see this shit on a Saber that has at base 10 times the star weight. Right? Hold up. Is it 10 or 20? No, 10 times. So imagine how good Zerk Lancelot soaks up stars, and then multiply that by 10. Like, no other servant gets stars when Lancelot pops this skill. If he has cards, every single star is going to those cards. It is almost impossible to fight, like, Lancelot specifically when he has Eternal Arms Mastery up. And for those of you that don't even know why he has this skill, if you watch Fate Zero, he literally takes one of Gilgamesh's treasures and turns it into a noble phantasm he can use as if he was the original owner. That is Lancelot's bullshit fanfic power. That's any story that has like the perfect hero, the perfect knight, the OP self-insert. That is Lancelot in a nutshell. He gets to use your powers better than you can. Third skill. 15 stars per turn, or every turn for 3 turns, and 30% crit damage for 3 turns. So, battery, an immediate star bomb, ridiculously OP star weight. Like, if he wasn't a saber, I'd say this skill needs a buff. But like, this on a saber means like they never have to worry about fighting for stars, and this isn't even on a 6 turn, it's on a 5. So any Tamamo reductions brings this down to almost 100% uptime. So like, again, if you have 1 Tamamo MP within 5 turns, he has, or preferably 2, but if you can get off 1 Tamamo MP, you basically have only 1 turn where he's not getting all the stars. So it's not hard to like get him to crit. And then he makes more stars to the point that he does not need a quick, like, don't touch his quick card unless you're doing a mighty chain and you don't have arts cards. That really is it. You don't touch this card. It's not going to do much. Plus your crits? Sure. Arts crit? Absolutely. Again, his refund is ridiculous if he actually crits, and it's the turn MPs. Why is that? You'll also notice he doesn't have any actual attack buffs in his kit. It is all crits. Everything about Lancelot is critting. Is he good at MP spamming? Yeah. Does his MP hit the absolute hardest? No. He doesn't have much things buffing up his actual damage. So could he use a buff that will up his like actual damage? Sure. Does he need it? Not really. If you need someone just like if you're finding a Lancer that just like can get MP spam, just bring Lancelot and he'll do it. So magic resist B again, because like all these Knights of the Round Table have at least B, and then riding B for 8% quick. Again, you're not going to be touching this quick card, so this is whatever, but it has been shown that Lancelot can ride horses as a Knight of the Round Table. They all ride horseback. They're in Britain. So, appends. Yes, mana loading will help you phenomenally, or if you start with a 50%. But he has an actually good extra attack, and you want him to be doing as much face cards as possible. So you're probably gonna be doing a couple extra attacks. Now, should you go for extra attack before mana loading? That really depends on you and your supports. If you have like if you plan on being a low spender, just go mana loading. Let's go mana loading. Although I will say, if you do already have Saber Hokusai, then I would definitely go for extra attack. Like, Hokusai kind of just does more for MP and is a more MP focused single target arts, while Lancelot can do the arts, but he's much heavier in crits. They really are interchangeable, but Lancelot just is consistent crits, and Hokusai is consistent MPs. And like, obviously Hokusai is MP5, so she's just gonna naturally hit harder unless you have an MP5 Lancelot, which again, he's not day 1, but he is year 1. So you having an MP5 Lancelot isn't the biggest stretch, but it still is a stretch that you'd have MP5 of any unit to begin with. That's not a welfare. So Lancelot's MP actually did get buffed recently. This is what it was originally. 30% arts buff activates first for 1 time. This is why arts crits, like full Arts Brave chain with all crits on Lancelot refunds so goddamn much. You do want like higher than MP1 because you're probably gonna go way over 100%. Because not only is he buffing those arts crits to refund even more, which he desperately needs since his MP is only one hit. It does a lot of damage, but then it has this effect just isn't good. And at least it's a 5-turn, but this is not a good effect. It adds 1,000 damage to your MP, which, unless they're literally... Okay, I need to explain how this works specifically, because it's not defense down. So the only time this is useful is if you're fighting someone that has, like, serious damage cut. Like, I'm talking, like, 100% special damage resistance that, like, no CE is gonna bypass. This is where that would actually, you could actually maybe start doing some damage by adding 1,000. But by that point, like, if they're having special defense, the fight is probably gonna be over like in a couple turns, not because you lose, but because you're meant to like fight. And like, the only way this can be useful is to try to like bypass certain mechanics, but you're probably not gonna get rewards for it anyway, so why bother? They did buff this MP, like I said, and it is a good buff. It always pierces defense. Amazing. They also buffed this effect. It's whatever. Like this, I mean, like, it's after damage too, but like that is like, if you do this, if you spam this MP enough, it is like an extra 10,000 damage per turn for like every single attack. So like, yeah, it can add up, but like, the enemy probably has like hundreds of thousands of HP that like, they're probably gonna be dead from some other reason. Like, I don't know why they kept this in. They should have changed this to be defense down. They really should have, because this is such a shitty effect on an otherwise like great character. Like, you don't see me use Lancelot often, but he's so solid. Like, definitely early account. Like, he carries you early. Like, 100%. I can be confident in this. Like, if you're just starting the game and you want like just a servant to do work without a lot of supports, Lancelot can definitely do the job. 100%. He is very self-sufficient. Again, he makes his own stars, he gives himself the star weight, he gives himself his own crit damage, and he makes more stars for himself that doesn't rely on carding. This is the most basic ass kit that is actually good. Like, this kit is so generic, and like every single aspect of it can be found on other characters. But he's like the only one that has all of it on demand for his skills. Usually, a lot of these other servants have them on, like, some of them have the effects on the MP, like the Star Bomb, and other servants have Eternal Arms Mastery. But Lancelot's the only knight class that actually has this skill. He is the only knight class. The other servants that have this skill are berserkers, and it's funny that Raikou has this buffed. Because, like, he shares the same rank. That should show you how much of a fucking threat Raikou is. It's like, if you read Heian, like, she was fighting fucking servants while she was still alive in a lost belt. Fucking Genjis. No wonder Tyra wants them all dead. They are threats. Bonsi, MP party regen and crit damage. If I was to buff Lancelot, I would buff Eternal Arms Mastery and like give him some kind of like, again, going back to his Bonsi, it's MP Gen and crit damage. He doesn't have MP Gen in his kit, so I'd honestly like give him like 30% MP Gen to work with this, and then he really will be zooming. All right, that's Lancelot. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, comment, sub, all that good YouTube stuff. I'm putting this at the end of the video because I'm really bad about selling out mid-video. So, thank you for watching.